What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? I hope and pray that you're all having a safe, blessed, joyous night, day, evening, no matter where you are, no matter who you're with. I pray that you're happy, blessed, and full of joy. I just want to say once again to everybody out there, it's been a really jarring, weird day for me. It's been a really heartbreaking day for me, and I just want to say to to everybody out there, thank you so much for your love. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for the messages of kindness, and just the overwhelming support. I'm gonna try to put this stuff into words. Which it's very very hard for me to do right now, but I feel like that I have to get this out because just like I tell my son, that if you let it, that if you let stuff boil up within you, if you let stuff, um, just if you let it not come to the surface, you're going to explode, and it's not going to be a good thing because you know what, you can honestly you could potentially take it out on somebody that doesn't deserve it. So like I'm just gonna say this right now because honestly I'm which I'm normally smooth with words, which I'm normally good with talking about things, but I'm trying to really get this together right now. But I want to be open and honest and truthful because I hope and pray that with what I'm about to say, that you guys, like at least one of you or a few of you, anybody seeing this, that you can get something out of this. That you can potentially add to your life because you know what, life is truly precious, life is truly short. Every day that we wake up, which I'm a firm believer, that's an opportunity for us to really make an impact, for us to really grow, for us to really change lives. Okay, which I'm a firm believer that like the fact that you have lungs, that you have air within your lungs, that is opportunity. That is a blessing. That's a miracle, and God's telling you, hey, you got a purpose for me right now. You got a reason for me right now for letting you be here. And for me on a daily basis, I'm a firm believer that when it comes to my life, that like my number one purpose is to not only serve God through what I do, but also to be the best husband, be the best father, and just be the best person that I could be. And I'm very fortunate. I'm very, very blessed because there's many things that I've experienced within my life that not many others have. And I'm grateful to have people within my life to share it with. I'm grateful to have my kids to share it with. I'm grateful to have my wife to share it with. And, you know, with the good times, that's wonderful because it's easy to get along during the good times. It's easy to celebrate the good times, and it's easy to, you know, spread the joy around. But there's times where you're truly tested within your relationships. There's times where you're truly tested within your marriage to where you are really challenged. And one of the things that that you're challenged with, especially with God, because God, He lets us go through certain things to build us up, to help us gain wisdom, to help us grow, and like to help us learn, that so we can ultimately not only become better people and more wise followers to Him, but so we can also help others. And what I'm trying to get around to is the fact that within the past 10 years, which I've been married to my wife, we've gone through a hell of a lot of ups and downs. Um, we've gone from dealing with drug addictions to dealing like with the loss of my parents to going through four miscarriages to nearly starving to death to nearly being homeless. I mean, there's so many things that we've gone through, but you know what? We love each other more. We love each other more than ever, like stronger than ever. Like we are a strong unit. We're solid like a rock because you know what? We recognize that with those situations that God lets us go through, we can choose to crumble, and we can choose to falter, and we can choose to play the blame game. We can choose to really say screw it and not come together. Or we can make the choice to come together and recognize that God designs things like marriage so when terrible things happen, that you have someone to go to. And for me, um, my wife, she was there for me when it came to me losing my parents. She was my rock. She was my foundation. There were times where she could have rightfully left me because of the way that I reacted, because of the way that I behaved. But she didn't, because she didn't judge me for being the person. She judged the action, saying, okay, that action, that's not you. The way you're behaving, that's not you. That's because you're going through something. That is a result of you being hurt. Not that the way that I reacted was correct by no means, but the fact is that my wife, she was there for me every step of the way when it came to me losing my parents. There When it came to me dealing like with my drug addictions issues, she was there for me. She was the one uh, that got me help. When it came to dealing with uh, the miscarriages, we lost 4 children. My wife, she could have easily faltered and given up, and so could have I. And like we could have closed up shop and said, screw it, I can't handle this no more. But it made us stronger. We recognized that God was using those things to help us, to strengthen us. So when the next thing came along, that we would be prepared and ready, and we would not falter, and we would not crumble, and we would have the strength to get through it. But like with marriage, there's give and take. There's You give just as much as you take. Sometimes you take more than what you give, but if you have a good partner that's forgiving, they will be forgiving of that, and they will make up for the slack, and they will be okay with that. Um, and it's hard for me to say this, guys, because I am using this as a platform to vent. I use this as a form of therapy for me, because you know what, like I said, right at the beginning of the podcast, it's a good way for me to get things out without negatively reacting in ways that I shouldn't. Because when I used to be depressed and frustrated, when I used to panic, one of my coping mechanisms, it was pain medications. My other coping mechanism was pornography. And now that I've grown, and now that I've become wiser and stronger, and I don't have those coping mechanisms no more, I now turn to talking to my wife and saying, "Hey, sweetie, we need to talk this out. Like, we need to get through this together, because I had a terrible habit of shutting down and just going to those coping mechanisms and shutting her out." And for me, I'm really growing and learning, and which I'm not doing that no more. Um, oh, hey, Daniel, brother, which I pray all is well with you, my friend. And I just want to say that I'm grateful to have such a wonderful partner. I'm grateful to have such a wonderful best friend. And just like she's been there for me once again, because I know I'm going around my butt to get to my elbow. But today, something terrible happened, and that was my wife's brother. Um, he passed away, uh, and it's really jarring. Uh, it's really eye opening. Because I'm honestly still trying to function. I'm really starting, which I'm still trying to process it, because I recognize that, you know what, I mean, death, that's a part of life, that's a natural part of life. And I realize that we're not meant to mourn forever. Like, the mourning process, that's meant to transition to celebration. And right now, I'm at the spot to where that I'm processing it. then I'm going to accept it, and then I'm going to uh, heal and then celebrate. Uh, but right now, like my wife, she's an absolute mess about it because you know what? Um, Jake, who was her brother, me and him, we never saw eye to eye on many things. But I must say, he was a phenomenal uncle. And my kids, whenever there were times that we couldn't give, Jake would always come in and give to the kids. He would always help out. He was a wonderful human being that literally we made the decision if something were to happen to me and if something were to happen to my wife, that he would be the second one behind my brother Anthony to take custody of our children because he was so good to them. And he was 30 years old, young, workaholic. The guy worked at a restaurant called Pier 14. He was one of like the kitchen managers. The guy was a hell of a cook. Um, he was a second in command, the third behind the owner, and he was a fantastic cook. Um, just, I'm sorry, guys. I'm really trying to process all this. A fantastic cook, a wonderful heart, a good guy that would literally take the shirt right off his back for you. There were times where he would wait till like the restaurant closed and walk his female coworkers to their vehicles because because he was such a gentleman in that aspect, and his work respected him so much that they literally shut down um, for the 4th of July weekend. Okay. And keep this in mind, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. This is literally their busiest weekend of the whole entire year. Okay. Where I live at in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, it is the second most visited tourist city on the East Coast. Okay. And seafood is one of the big things that we have here because obviously the beach. And Pier 14, they are either the second or third highest grossing seafood restaurant, non buffet, in the whole entire area. So the fact that the owner had so much respect that he shut down the restaurant and sacrificed a couple $1,000,000, quite frankly, like the God honest truth, because they do that high of volume and money wise and cooking. Um, it made me respect the guy more. And it made me really, it put a smile on my face knowing that there's still good people out there, knowing that there's people out there that are not willing to say, screw it, see him as another number and say, oh, well, and just move on. They had so much respect for him that they stopped so they could recognize, so they could appreciate, and so they can give proper respect to somebody that really gave his all for that company, for that restaurant. And I'm extremely grateful for that. To the owner of Pier 14, which I can't think of her name off the top of my head because I'm terrible with names. What's that? Missy Vaughn. Missy Vaughn, the daughter whose dad owns the pier. Sweetie, thank you so much for being so respectful towards my family, and just really doing that for Jake because Jake would literally want you guys to continue to work, but you know what? This is something that's really cool, very appropriate, and it just makes me feel so good once again that there's so many good people. Was scratch that there's good people still out there. Because honestly, guys, I'm an extreme pessimist when it comes to a lot of people because the God honest truth, like with me and my wife, especially living down here in Myrtle Beach, I really have a hard time trusting people because most people we literally come across down here, they're nice to you because they usually want something. And we're not saying that because we feel that way. Like, we're saying that because guess what? That's normally the case because um, the majority of the people that I consider friends down here, once I couldn't give no more, they split. When it came to like my wife's friends, whenever she couldn't give or do something for them, they split, with the exception of one, which is Ashley. And I just want to say to Miss Ashley, which I hope you see this, from the bottom of my heart, once again, thank you so much for being such a wonderful friend of my wife. You have literally been there since the beginning with her, and you have never asked for anything within return but friendship. And you've given more than you could ever um, imagine when it comes to us, and I'm grateful because, like I said, not many people are like that. Not many people that we come across down here are very sincere and very genuine. So thank you so much, sweetie. We do love you. We love Kyler. We love Aaron. I just really want to say thank you to your family. And the fact that, especially with Kyler, he's like my adopted son. Scratch that, which I do have an adopted son, but he's like my second adopted son. There you go. Anyways, and like my wife, she's babysat him for many many years, and which I grew to fall in love with the kid. Um, and so because of that friendship with Ashley, because of her being so kind, because of her being so nice to my wife, that led to us developing that friendship and that relationship with Kyler, which is just awesome. But ultimately, Ashley, she reached out to my wife right away as soon as she heard what happened. And I just want to say, Ashley, thank you so much. She has offered to literally to come over here, like to help us out, just to talk to us. Hell, she's even offered to have us come over to her house and dinner and all that good stuff. But you know what? Just the fact that she offered, that's just awesome. And speaking of offering and speaking of good people, I just want to say to like my company, which is Walmart, thank you. Thank you for being so loving. Thank you for being so caring. Thank you for being so understanding because I've never worked for a company that's as understanding and as kind as you guys. I really am grateful. There's a lot of people that have a lot of misconceptions when it comes to the company called Walmart, but you know what? It's normally people that used to work for the company and they're bitter because they realize that they screwed up, or it's people that are extremely misinformed. Which I just want to say, like when it comes to Walmart, when it comes to like my bosses, mainly Royce, the Miss Jessica, Mr. Daniel, Miss Tana, Miss Urania, and Miss Lisa. Um, if I'm forgetting anybody, I do apologize because I'm not all there right now. Thank you for your for being so good to me. Thank you for the respect you showed me. Thank you so much for the opportunities you've given me, and ultimately, thank you so much when it comes to realizing that sometimes stuff happens, and you got to leave work right away. And that's what happened to me earlier, where I had to leave work because like my phone is blown up, and like my phone like was vibrating over and over and over, and which I checked it, which I was on the register, and like my wife texted me saying, "Sweetie, please come home. Jake is dead. Jake is dead." and it really it really set me aback for a minute because I'm like, what in the world? No way. No freaking way. This has got to be a joke. But then it really sunk in, and I went straight to like the service desk and said to him, it was Miss Jessica and Miss Tana that I had to really go because my wife's brother just passed away. Um, what? Yeah, because like my wife, she's extremely understanding of when it comes to me and work because like the thing about it is like with her being a stay-at-home mom, she normally doesn't bother me at work because she realizes that if I don't work, then we don't make it. So she's extremely respectful of that. She gives me my space on that. So normally, whenever she contacts me, with the exception of talking about the kids, it's normally something serious. So that's what happened. So what I did was, which I told Miss Jessica, I told Miss Tana, they were extremely understanding about it, and I ran to the back, and I spoke to my favorite, um, my favorite manager, Royce, which Mr. Royce, he's been absolutely phenomenal to me. I couldn't ask for a better manager when it comes to realizing the importance of family. I just want to say, Royce, from the bottom of my heart, thank you, thank you, thank you. You've been absolutely phenomenal towards me. Um, and the respect you show me, it just means the world. It just really means the world to me because you show me the respect that not many people have when it comes to like the way that I work and when it comes to my family. So I'm unbelievably grateful for that. And I walked to the back, and and then I told Royce, "Hey, what was going on?" And he said, "Chris, um, dude, brother, which I heard, man, go take care of your wife, go take care of your family." And the thing that I was freaking out about was be, uh, losing my job because of leaving work early. And like the thing about it is for me, like my three biggest fears is losing my kids, losing my wife, and not being able to provide for my family. And normally with like my last job, Food Lion, if something like this were to happen normally, they would be extremely difficult. They would be extremely difficult with me, and they would treat me like like I was the biggest piece of crap ever, and they would treat me as if that I was making this crap up. And so it was extremely uncomfortable for me to tell that to people when I worked at Food Lion. Um, so based off a habit, I am still trying to get used to it 2 years later when it comes to Walmart. Whenever a boss like Roy says to me, don't worry about it, go focus on your family, go take care of your wife, it's just like, wow, it feels so good to have somebody that cares. It's so refreshing. Yeah. Oh yeah, and they recognize that I'm not a number, that I'm a human being, that I have responsibilities, and that I really have a family to take care of, and they value that and they appreciate that. And hell, I mean, there's times where I've had to take time off because of different things, whether it was my surgery, whether it was dealing with like my kids being sick, whether it was like my wife's mom being in like the hospital for because of her stroke. And guess what? Every single time, yeah, and they paid me. So not only did they tell me not to worry, but they paid me. And not many companies are willing to go above and beyond for that. And I'm grateful, I'm appreciative. And once again, Mr. Royce Farine, thank you for being such an awesome boss to me. Thank you so much for, most importantly, being a good friend to me, because I don't have very many of them. Because I have a lot of people that I associate with, but I don't have very many friends. Um, and once again, just the whole thing with Jake. I'm still trying to process this, guys. Which I know I've said this 40 times over, but I got to get this out. I got to vent. I got to express myself because I will go crazy if I don't. Um, and I just want to say, once again, Jake, I love you. Thank you so much for being such a good brother-in-law. Whenever both my parents died, you were there for me. You were extremely supportive. And I really will always be grateful for that. There were times where we had to choose between feeding the kids and paying the light bill, and you stepped in and you helped us. I mean, there were times where we had a broken washing machine, and you would help us with that. I mean, there's so many things that you helped us with, and you gave selflessly. And I'm very grateful for that, because you know what? It's true what they say when it comes to kids. A it takes a village like to raise children. And you know what? He's a prime example of somebody that didn't have to, but he did, because he realized the importance of me and my wife being able to provide for our family, and the importance that that would have on our children, and like the benefit that would have on the children. And so there were times where I would offer to pay him back because I had the money, and he was like, don't worry about it. Like, as long as the kids benefit from it, that's all that matters. Kids, 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 kids. That's what he was crazy about, was my kids, Angel and James. And like, some of like my fondest memories with Jake is literally during Christmases, because I swear to God, this guy would go above and beyond to spoil the crap out of my kids. And you know what? Dare I say, it's kind of like you go into like a KB Toys and see like this giant like toy display and like these giant toy setups. Literally, like with our Christmases, with Jake, that's what our house looked like, because he would literally save up money all year just to buy my kids Christmas. And between what we bought, between what Granny and Pawpaw bought, and between what Jake bought, good Lord, these kids are spoiled rotten. But you know what? The fact is that they don't get a lot throughout the year. So like, we decide to spoil them during Christmas. So I mean, it's just such an awesome thing. And Jake, he taught my son how to fish. He helped teach my son when it came like to riding a bike. I mean, and which I know, like, there's certain things that that I'm supposed to teach him, but like, the God honest truth, guys, is because of like my work schedule, it's extremely difficult to make time sometimes. And which I've taught my son many, many things, and I really am proud of a lot of things. But also, the fact that James had such a strong male role model besides me to go to, with Jake, I will always be grateful for. My son, he came up to me today right after we found out. And he said to me, Dad, um, I lost, I lost my best friend, because Jake and James, they were extremely close, and they were like best friends. Um, and it really, really bothers me, because I told my son, I said to him, buddy, whatever you're feeling, get it out. Don't let nothing fester in you. Do not hold anything back. Get it out. Express how you feel. And I said, Jake will always be here for you in spirit. Jake will always be here watching out for you. And the beautiful part about it, like I told him, that thanks to the sacrifice that Jesus Christ made on that cross, as a result, he conquered death. And by conquering death, he made a path for us to go down, for us to go across to where we can have eternal life. And through that, thanks to that promise, thanks to that sacrifice, thanks to Jesus conquering death, that led me to be able to tell my son, hey son, the beautiful thing about it is, yes, I know it sucks right now, and yes, we hurt, but you know what, we're going to celebrate soon enough, because you know what, God's made it to where we will be with him again one day. Jake's going to be waiting for you, and guess what, you guys can go fishing up in heaven. I promise you, it's going to be, things will get better. Things will not continue to be negative. Things will not continue to be terrible, because you know what? The beautiful thing with God is that every time a negative happens, there's positives that come as a result. Every single disappointment, every single disaster, every single valley we go down, there's always a blessing right behind it, with that hill that God's going to bring us up. And I know that for a fact, because I've experienced it time and time again. So I just want to let you guys know that if you're going something, that if you're going through something similar, and you lost somebody that you really love, somebody that you're really close to, think to yourself, would they want me to, be sad? Would they want me to waller? Would they want me to give up? Would they want me to lose faith?
Baby, do you want a drink?
No, they wouldn't.
No, do you want one? You got one? Okay.
Yeah. Because you know what? What they would want you to do is to celebrate the fact that they were here for a reason. Part of the reason why that they were here. What?
The little frog, he keeps getting
in. Okay. Part of the reason why that they were here was to make an impact on your life. Every single person that you run into, there's a purpose behind them being within your life. Whether it's to make you realize something, whether it's to teach you a lesson, whether it's to show you something that you need to do, something that you don't need to do, something that that's negative, positive, whatever. Every person you come in contact with, you come in contact for a reason. And like I said, if you have lost somebody that you really are close to, that you love, please realize that God's got a plan. God's got a wonderful plan. And that plan was for Jesus to come down, was for Jesus to die on the cross, was for Jesus to conquer death, and to help you, me, and every single person walking this earth have a place to go to where we celebrate the individuals we loved. Because like I said, each person that you come in contact with, they are there for a reason. Each family member you have, whether you love them, whether you hate them, they're there in your life for a reason. So please, like I said earlier, life is short. Don't take it for granted. Let things like grudges, they let things like anger, let things like rage, whatever you have, go to the wayside, because ultimately, when it comes down to it, living with regret sucks, because I do with certain things. And there's always those moments where I think to myself, if I only would have said this, if I really would have said that. And you know what? What I tell people is that, the moments you're given now, you're given those so you can reconcile, so you can fix, and so you can solve, so you don't live in regret. And for me, when it comes to Jake, I'm grateful for the fact that he was in my life because that led me to seeing truly what a wonderful, selfless, giving person is. Another example of one because he was selfless until it hurt. There were times where he would literally spend money that he was supposed to go to the doctor with and spend it on these kids because they needed something. Because once again, there's times where me and my wife, where we were financially struggling to where we had to either choose, uh, we had to choose the power bill or we had to choose groceries. And Jake, he sacrificed for us many, many times. And once again, Jake, I will always be grateful for that because selflessness, that's one of your biggest characteristics.
My drawer broke and he bought me a new drawer.
Yep.
I didn't have to ask him; he just did it.
Yep.
I
And
didn't even ask him at all. There's a lot of things Jake done for me that I didn't ask him for. He just gave it.
yep. And like the thing about it is that, my wife and my wife and Jake, they didn't get along
It wasn't because we didn't love each other. It's just we just
too terribly great. But
he thought he knew how to parent is what it was.
yeah, but the thing about it is that the one connection that they had was these children, and the fact that
And he took care of me when I was sick when I was pregnant with
yeah,
James. Literally.
that Jake, he put his differences to the side that he had with my wife whenever she was pregnant and went above and beyond for her. He put his differences to the side. My wife put her differences to the side for the benefit of these children. And you know what? Like I said, when it comes to people within your life, if you have grudges, if you have anger, if you have rage, whatever it is built up, and it's neglecting more than just you, if it's neglecting your children, if it's neglecting whoever, think to yourself, is this little grudge worth me sacrificing the potential of hurting others and holding back things that could potentially happen to benefit others? Because you know what?
Our kids love Jake.
Yeah.
Even though like me and him fought, what it was is Jake. What the grudge was Jake felt guilty because he always said that I gave my childhood up for him to help raise him.
Yeah.
Our mom worked all the time, but I never blamed Jake for that. I chose to do that.
Yeah.
Well, not necessarily chose it, but I wasn't mad that I had to take care of him or Adam. Um, to this day I don't regret doing it. Um,
Yeah.
I did it because I loved him, and Jake
Yeah.
always felt guilty about it.
Well, you don't need to feel guilty about it because, like I said, you sacrifice for the ones you love the most. And
Jake felt guilty.
yeah, like I said, you sacrifice for the ones that you love the most. And the thing about it is that I just want to say that, love can take you places that you've never believed you can go. Love can give you strength beyond what you could ever comprehend. And you know what? That all goes back to God. And like I said, guys, if you really want to make a difference tonight within your life, and if you really want to take a step forward to do things that you really um, never thought that you could do before, think to yourself, what is it within my life that's holding me back, and what can I do to reconcile that, and what can I do to help others through what I've gone through when I've reconciled it. Okay, so if that means that you need to reconcile, let's say like you're fighting like with your mom, like you're fighting with your dad, and it's over something that's stupid and petty,
Just go apologize
just
or let it go.
just apologize, just let it go, and realize that ultimately,
We're not right.
whenever it comes down to it, you guys, you're going to be there for each other.
No matter what.
And because that love is stronger than any hate, I promise you. And
For
God
sure.
purposely made it that way. So please, please, when it comes to your brothers, your sisters, your moms, your dads, drop any issues that you have,
Grandma.
grandmas, whatever. Please drop any issues. Give them a hug, call them up, say that you love them, because, like I said, just like that,
Tomorrow, the next second.
they could be gone,
Yeah.
and you could be living in a world of what if, why, who, what if I would have done this? Would it have made the difference in this and that, the other? Quite frankly, it all happens for a divine reason, but you still do have the opportunity to make choices to help yourself feel better and to help that person feel better before the inevitable happens. So I'm just telling you guys, please stop procrastinating, stop putting back, get up, get out, go tell the person that you're fighting with, hey man, what we're fighting over doesn't matter because we love each other. Go to your grandma, give her a hug, go bake her some cookies and say, Granny, thank you for what
Make her
you've done
fat
for
cookies.
me.
Diabetic.
Yes. You go up to your dad, say, hey dad, you might be a Republican and I might be a Democrat, but by God, the one thing we do have in common is love. And thank you for showing me how to ride a bike. Let's go have dinner together because you know what? Love is the main thing that we can all agree on. So, like I said, guys, love each other before it's too late. And Jake, Jacob Hamby, I love you. Thank you. Thank you for everything you've done for me. Thank you for everything you've done for my kids. Thank you for everything you've done for my wife. You're gone, but you won't be forgotten. And the beautiful thing is, once again, and I've said this 3 times already, but thanks to Jesus Christ and the sacrifice he made on that cross, that's led to a path to where we will not be separated forever. We're temporary here on earth, guys. We're temporary. Like, we're just, the bodies we're in, man, they're vessels. They're vessels for our soul, okay? Once God calls our souls to heaven, these bodies, they're kind of like shells. Our shells will be left behind, but our souls will go to heaven. And if you do right by God, your memory will last forever. It will. So take the time to fix your life, to rectify situations, to let your kids know that you love them, to let your mom know that you love her, to let your dad know that you love them. Because you know what? Tomorrow is never promised.
That's another thing too.
Eh,
Jake was always given to like homeless people and stuff too.
Oh yeah.
For me and
Oh yeah, babe. Which I talked about that.
well, not just that, just like I don't know, mom sometimes fuss at him a little bit because
Yeah.
he would give him like
So.
more money than probably maybe he should have. But
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And too, like with Jake, I mean, the guy, well, like I said before, he gave till it hurt, and that was his number one trait, in my opinion, was selflessness. And that's something that we could all work on, and that's something that we could all really strive to be, is selfless, giving till it hurts, and and not asking for anything in return, because you know what, he literally never did. And that's
he never threw it in anybody's face either. Right?
nope. And that's one of the few people that I can honestly say was truly selfless and that really did it out of the goodness of his heart. So once again, Mr. Jacob Hamby, I love you. Which it was a honor, um, and a privilege to be family with you. Um, and thank you so much for being so good to my kids. That's honestly the biggest thing that I could say about you. Your selflessness and you being such a damn good uncle. Um, it sucks that you never got the opportunity to be a dad because you know what? You would have made a hell of a dad. You would have driven your wife crazy, don't get me wrong, but you would have been a hell of a dad. Um, and what I mean by that, ladies and gentlemen, is that he's so he's so meticulous. The guy was a perfectionist. He had OCD really bad.
Oh, yes, he did. Oh my
So,
god.
which it got to the point to where that there were times where just to get ready, the guy would have
Only
to
3 hours to get ready.
there were times where we would plan on going to somewhere like the theme park. We got a local park here. It's called Myrtle Waves, which is a water park, and he would literally take so long to get ready that they would be closed by the time he got there
God.
because he was so particular and so meticulous and so obsessive compulsive when it came to doing certain habits and certain things. But you know what? Regardless, he was such a giving, wonderful person. Um, so Jake, once again, and I know I've said this 4 times already, brother, but I love you. Thank you for being in my life. Thank you for being in the kid's life, and just Godspeed, brother. We will meet again one day, and which I'm looking forward to it because we got a ton of stories to share. Because you know what, um, my kids, they're gonna make you proud because I know you never had the opportunity to have them, but you know what, you treated my kids like yours, and you know what, you're going to be proud. You're going to be looking down. You're going to be proud because he's
Across that graduation stage.
James is going to cross that graduation stage. So is Angel. When I give her a way right at her wedding, you're going to be right there. Whenever like my son gets married, you're going to be right there. Whenever they graduate college, you're going to be right there. If James, whenever James graduates college or graduates boot camp, whatever comes first, you're going to be right there. So like you're physically not here in body, but I know you're in here. But I know you're here in spirit. I can feel it. So Jake, I love you. Thank you. And once again, I'm so blessed that God gave me the privilege of being able to have met you and shared these past 10 years with. Thank you, brother. Peace. And before we go tonight, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to say, because that was kind of emotional for me, um, that the time that I'm recording this, it's 1:18 in the morning, and it's July 3rd. So, like with July 3rd, that is actually my dad's birthday.
And Larry's birthday.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. And my wife's dad's birthday. But anyways,
Stepdad's birthday.
with like um with like my dad, he would have been 59 today, which is amazing. But as many of you know, like my father, he passed away back in 2017. Um, it was in October of 2017. My dad died. He died. He dad. Shit. Like it's a tongue twister. Dad died. Dad. My dad died due to complications from long-term complications due to smoking. Um, my dad was very susceptible to pneumonia. And the thing about it is that because of his smoking habits, he got pneumonia so frequently that the antibiotics that he took so often for that stopped working. His body became immune to it, and essentially his intestines literally turned into mush.
God.
They ceased to function. So, not to sound too,
Antibiotics?
yeah, long
How
term
much?
use, yeah.
How
Um,
much did he take?
so, a lot. Not to sound too graphic, but like my dad, he shit himself to death. I'm not trying to be funny, but
He bled.
what? Yeah, he,
His bleeding
my dad bled. My dad bled out of his rectum, and basically the majority, most of the blood, like within his body, left through his rectum, and he died. When it came to that, it sucked. It was one, which it was the worst day of my life. Um,
When you think about it this way, there's a million different ways a million different ways and things that can kill you.
yeah,
There's only one way to be born.
yep, that's true. And like the thing about it is that like with my dad, he passed away, but he didn't want to be remembered like that. He wanted to be remembered as a fantastic dad, because like my dad said to me, the proudest, the best thing that he ever did within his life was become a dad, was to get the privilege of becoming a father. And that translates over to me when it comes to my kids, because I recognize what a great blessing that it is. And I just want to say that it's, that I would give anything for like my father to be here right now, and just shoot the shit with them and just talk to them and everything else, because like I've said in past episodes, my dad's philosophy on parenting is like this: um, that when it comes to what's owed to you, it's love, a roof over your head, food in your stomach, clothes on your back, and that in a bed to sleep in, and that's it. The rest of it, you have to earn it. You have to earn it through showing respect, by doing your chores, by doing good at school, and just being well behaved and representing the family well. And I think I did that pretty well. But and then like my dad said to me that, because I said to him one day, why can't we be friends? And he said to me, son, the day that you can prove to me that you can take care of yourself and you can take care of your family, that's the day we can become friends. But until then, you're going to see me ride your ass like Zorro, and you're going to see the daddy side of me, because you know what? That's my job. And there's nothing my dad took more seriously than being a dad, than being a father. There were times where literally
Stalker.
he would randomly stop at my school just to check up on me.
Your dad and my mom are just like.
And the funny thing about it is that I could never get in trouble, because guess what? He could literally show up at any time. But he did it because he loved me, and he did it because he cared. Now, when it came to like the sports which I played football, baseball, soccer, and my dad was always there at every single game. He never missed a game. He never missed a PTA meeting. Nothing like
Your
that.
dad was a PTA meeting.
Yes, my dad went to PTA
Oh my
meetings.
god, I hate those.
When it came to like the meetings for like my IEPs, which is which is for kids like with learning disabilities, he was there at every single one of them, and he fought for me to have the best education possible. He even cussed out teachers, he cussed out principals, you name it, because he knew what I could do. He loved me that much, and you know what? He valued me that much to where he wanted me to have the best opportunities possible, and he would not accept anybody saying that I am less than great, that I am not capable of fulfilling my potential in life. And which I will always be grateful for that, for my dad. And there were times where, which I've said this story 40 times, but I'm gonna say it 41 times, where that because when I used to live in Baltimore, Maryland, my dad worked for a company called CJ Langerfelder. He sold a steel byproduct called slag. Okay, so that's why you see like my name tonight. It's called son of a slag salesman, brother Martin. That's because my dad sold a steel byproduct called slag. He sold steel, uh, uh, slag. He sold limestone. He sold asphalt. You name it. Slag is one of the main things you use to build roads. So working in Baltimore, my dad had a bunch of different like he worked for he did deals for the state. He did deals like for like he did deals like for corporations. He did deals for like the government. I mean, just so many different people that he dealt with just to get this stuff built. And 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 like my dad would work literally 16 hours per day. I mean, it was unreal. But he would always make sure to to tuck us in, and he would always make sure uh he would personally take us to school. So I mean, yes, like my dad worked long hours, but he would always make time for me. He would always make time for like my brother. And then the company that he worked for, they had season tickets to the Baltimore Ravens and to like the Baltimore Orioles. So what would normally happen is on nights that the Orioles like were playing at home, my dad would come home and say to me, "Hey, well, were you good to your mom? Yeah. Hey, is your homework done? Yeah. Do you want to go down to Camden Yards and go catch a ball game? Yep." So like my dad would purposely take certain nights off and shorten his work shift just to take us to ball games and just to spend time with us. Um, and that really meant the world to me be- because like my dad would always go out of his way for me and for my brother. So I just want to say that dad, I love you. I'm grateful. And plus when it came to my dad's struggles, because he struggled with drinking. Um, but it was also due to his extreme work schedule and him being so depressed because of working so much. But my dad, he said to me that his biggest fear was not being able to put a roof over our heads. So he worked himself to the bone just to provide for us because he took that responsibility of being a dad so seriously. And the thing about it is that he which which as like the years went by, he started to neglect his health more and more and more because of working so much and not going to the doctor and this and that. And with like the drinking, like the crazy part about it is that, and I know some people won't believe me when I say this because, which I've said this before, um, that it my dad's drinking never got in the way of him spending time with us. He never missed a damn thing when it came to us. Um, and he's one of the few parents that I can honestly say never let their demons get in the way of their parenting. Um, and that takes a real strong person to do that. Now, my dad though, he eventually became sober, which I'm proud of him. But good lord, he smoked like a freight train. He smoked like a chimney. By God, my dad was smoking since he was 13 years old. Um, so he smoked from I think it was 13 to age 56 or 55.
How did you get his first pack of cigarettes? Oh, you could buy them back then, couldn't you?
No, they some clubs or some stores had like the machines where you could just put in coins and just buy the cigarettes.
How come I could go to the store
Yeah,
for my dad and buy his
yeah.
chewing tobacco then?
I don't know, Priscilla, but
Maybe
anyways,
the owner knew me.
yeah.
Oh, it was weird. I was a kid.
All right, and Mike, thank you so much, brother. I do appreciate it. I definitely hope and pray that you're having a good night, my friend. It's just God, man. Like I said, the support is fantastic. I love it, and it really helps me cope with everything. Um, and I like I was saying, like with my dad, he never let any he never let none of his issues stop from being a phenomenal father. But he smoked like a freight train, and then on top of that, um, he really, which I can tell that he was up every single morning. Two things, okay, and that was the shower was running, and I could smell Doral cigarettes
Oh God.
traveling throughout the apartment. And by God, that smell woke me up. Um, and then the funny part about it is my dad knew that I woke up because what I would do is sneak into the fridge and go grab a Mountain Dew, and like my dad would hear like the like the can pop open. So like my dad's like, Chris, you up? Yes. You're bringing me my Mountain Dew, right? Yes. So yeah, I mean, like there were times where that that, that I'll drink like a drink half of it and then fill it like with water.
What?
And good lord, like oh god, yeah, like my dad would notice. But anyways, oh yeah, and Mr. Durban saying that my audio is on point tonight, brother. Thank you so much. I do appreciate it because here on Baptized Fire, we aim to please, baby. We do, because you know what? My goal is with this podcast is that with my stories, with my guests, with everything that I do here, to make you guys realize that you're beautiful, that you're wonderful, and that we all have a story to tell. And with that story, that's meant to help us. We're meant to help each other with our experiences. So hold on a second. A bird and a fly. What is the difference between the bird and and a fly, Mike?
I don't know.
I don't know. Like
One has six like
I,
eyes. You can
I,
see six eyes.
I guess
I think I don't know.
one's attractive. Okay, one shits on people and
But one flies around shit.
one flies the shit. I don't know, but yeah. But no, I just when it came to like my dad, let oh my god, that's awesome. A bird can fly, but a fly can't bird.
Oh my God.
I love that. I love it. I love it, man. That's great right there. But no, awesome jokes tonight, my friend. I love it. And like the thing is that like with back to like my dad, the whole thing is that regardless, like I said before, he always made time, even with the 16-hour work shifts, even with the drinking issue, he always made time. And that's where my passion for my kids comes from. That's where no matter what I'm going through, whether which I'm struggling like with like my neck issues, whether I'm struggling with sleep or work or whatever, it doesn't matter. My goal is every single week to make time for like my kids. I want to be able to for like my kids like to say, hey, my dad was there, he loved me, and I knew it, which I felt it, because there's a lot of people that I've came across that say to me, well, I think my dad loved me, well, I think my mom loved me, but I wasn't sure because I didn't really feel it. And you know what, for those parents out there, like I said, with tomorrow not being promised, Use tonight. Use right now. Use the opportunity that you have within your lungs.
Busting the kid's door after 2 a.m.
Yeah.
Wake up, Jimmy.
Yeah, you bust in their door and you say,
No.
by God, which I love you, and damn it, you're going to feel it. You're going to see it. You're going to see me show you it, because you know what? This is an opportunity. Every single person, you have the opportunity to show love to your children. You have the opportunity to turn your life around right now. You have the opportunity to fix those grudges. You have the opportunity to fix those issues that you have with those people. Please wake up, get out, and go do what you need to do to fix it. Because, like I said, especially with me losing Jake tonight, my wife losing Jake, with my kids losing Jake, with my mother-in-law losing Jake, he's not going to have the opportunity to fix things that he might have been regretting. He does not have the opportunity to fix things that he felt like he needed to work on, but you do. Every single person watching this, you do. You have the opportunities to do it. Take it. Don't procrastinate. Get up. Change your life. Show that you care. Show that you're appreciative for the opportunities that God's given you. Show people that might not know that the fact that they have breath within their lungs, that it's a damn miracle. And that with that miracle, we're meant to change lives. That's we're meant to make an impact. Please don't take it for granted. Stop procrastinating. Get off your ass. Do it. Do the purpose. Seek the purpose, which if you don't know your purpose for life, then ask God. If you don't know God, then I encourage you to just pray and ask. Say, hey, God, I don't know you, but I've heard about you. And you know what? My life is not going the way that I want it to. Please help me. Please show me what I'm missing within my life. Which is a matter of fact, I just want to say before I end this, because we're going to end this on a prayer. Dad, thank you for being the best father that I could ever have. Thank you for being one of my best friends, because the last 5 years of your life, I was able to know a man that I never knew before and that I was privileged to call a friend. And thank you for setting the example for me to follow when it comes to being a fearless, vicious, dedicated father.
Vicious.
Well, vicious meaning never give up, never let no one get in my way to show my kids that I love them. Thank you, Chuck Martin. Charles Anthony Martin Sr., thank you. You raised two wonderful kids. You got a son that's a pastor. You got a son that's a senior chief petty officer. And you know what? You did pretty damn good. And I'm proud of you, Dad. And just like with Jake, just like I said earlier, we're going to meet again one day, Dad. And then I'm going to have some stories to tell you. Just like Jake's going to be there in spirit for my kids graduating, so are you. So is Mom. Just like my kid, just like Jake's going to be there in spirit when my daughter gets married, so are you. Just like whenever James gets married, you're going to be there. Just like whenever James graduates boot camp, you're going to be there. Because even in spirit, you're still a phenomenal dad. Because your spirit's within me. Your spirit's within Anthony. And you know that. And you know what? If it wasn't for you partially, that beautiful, amazing girl that stole my heart, that little girl that stole my heart, Angel Michelle Martin. She wouldn't exist. Thank you. And mom, thank you too. I mean, yes, I do love you too, but it's dad's birthday, so like we're just focusing
It's her turn.
we're just focusing on dad tonight.
She would not be happy about that.
So yeah.
She wanted the attention for herself.
So yeah, guys, I love every single one of you. Thank you for letting me vent. Thank you for letting me get this off my chest. Because you know what? I really need to. I really need to do this because this is not only going to benefit me from a psychological standpoint, from a mental standpoint, but it's going to benefit me when it comes to things like my marriage. Because you know what? Yours truly hasn't been the best husband when it comes to expressing my feelings properly. And this is one of the ways for me to do it so I don't take it out on my wife. So,
Mad at me over my brother dying.
so thank you for giving me this platform. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen, guys, because you know what? I got a feeling that God's leading us to, have this discussion tonight, which I hope and pray that at least one person you've gotten something out of this, that you feel comforted, that that you realize that you're not alone. We're all one giant family. We're all beautifully and wonderfully made, but you know what? The one thing we have in common is we're all family, and we're not meant to do this alone. God wants us to call God wants us to call on each other when times are tough. God wants us to call on one another when times are good. The hills, the valleys, the peaks, whatever you want to call them. We're all meant to do this together. So please, like I said, to the ones that you love, make them know that you love them. If they don't know, show them. So, once again, Jake, I love you. Thank you for being within my life for these past 10 years. Dad, happy birthday. I can't wait to see you again. And I can't wait. And I will continue to bust my ass for this family to make you proud because I know you're looking down on me, smiling because of the work and because of the dedication that I've put in for this family. Because, Dad, you even told me that regardless, there's no excuse for you not to work. That even if you got to dig ditches, clean shitters, excuse me, be a honey dipper, whether like you got to rig up groceries, whether you got to serve at Chipotle, whether you got to work at McDonald's, whether like you're a doctor, it doesn't matter. There is no excuse not to work because guess what? There's always jobs out there. The only two things that are going to be getting within your way for those decisions is your pride and your work ethic. How hard are you willing to work for your family? And are you willing to put your pride aside to sacrifice for your family? Because yours truly, I've cleaned toilets, I've rung up groceries, I've dressed up as cartoon characters, I've dressed up as a fucking pizza just to make
buy my wedding ring.
Just to buy my wife's wedding ring.
Well, whatever.
Yeah. And you know what? And I've dressed up as a damn cartoon character.
A troll, Poppy.
Poppy from Trolls for a birthday party, just to put food on the table. And I would not change a thing because my dad showed me that I'm not too good to do whatever it takes to take care of my family, and that the only thing that's going to hold you back is your work ethic and, and your pride. So,
were you driving driving go karts or something with the kid, with the birthday kid with that puppy
Yeah.
outfit on, and
Oh
he
God,
couldn't
yeah.
see or
Oh
something.
yeah, a fun story before I do like the like the baptized prayer. That when I was dressed up as like the trolls character, with like the birthday party, that that I got paid $75 to do, by the way,
He got partially screwed out of.
which I partially got screwed out of. But anyways, basically what happened was I was walking around wearing like this giant pink outfit, wearing like this giant pink head, which I couldn't see shit, by the way. And the birthday, like the birthday girl, wanted me to
Drive her in the go kart.
drive her in the go kart. So what I was doing was I had this child in the middle of my legs,
Oh my God.
and I was driving a go kart basically blind. So by the grace of God, I did not wreck, and thankfully, which I don't know how the hell I didn't wreck, but thankfully I didn't, because like the track was like a giant figure eight.
And it was like lifted too.
So yeah, so thankfully, which I could feel like my way, because like with the turns normally like the track like would lift up a little bit, so at least I figured that out. But anyways, guys,
Well, you driven it before, hadn't you?
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Search for everyone.
needless to say, guys, the things you will do for your kids to put food on the table,
All the things
you're
you do for love.
legally. But by the way, let me reinforce this fact: do it legally, because you can't provide for your kids behind bars. So use your fucking head. Anyways, guys, I just want to say once again, thank you so much for joining me tonight on Baptized Fire with Brother Martin. This is a really emotional episode for me. I just really needed to get this out. I just needed to talk. This is extremely still fresh for me, but I need this to process. I need to say this to get it out, because you know what? My feeling on this is that God is telling me to say this because somebody is going through something similar. And anybody, if you want to talk, you got somebody to talk to right here. You can reach out to me on Twitter at baptizedfire125. You can reach me at through like via my email at IAMCHM911 at gmail.com. And if just please, you're not alone. You are loved, you are valued, and you are a precious gift from God. Every single person watching this is. And every single person has the opportunity to turn their lives around. Because yours truly has, which I'm disabled, guys. I have a fucked up neck, a fucked up back. Even with surgery, I still have a fucked up neck and a fucked up back. But you know what? Guess what? I don't let that stop me from doing what I'm supposed to do, because God gives me the strength to do it. And I have a fantastic wife that takes care of me as well. When it comes to my stutter, I don't let that get in my way, because guess what? God's going to give me the ability to speak, because I'm meant to say something. So please don't let your shortcomings stop you from doing what you need to do, doing what you're supposed to do, doing what you're destined to do, because you know what? Everybody is destined for greatness, and everybody is destined to make an impact. Just don't let your fears, don't let your procrastination, and don't let others be the deciding factor of whether you do those things or not. Okay? So we're going to end this in prayer, and then I'm going to go relax with my wife, and we're just going to cuddle and maybe watch some Teen Mom. I don't know. Anyways, so once again, guys, thank you so much for joining me. All right. Dear God, thank you for the opportunity, and thank you for the privilege you've given us to come together tonight. Whether you're watching me live or whether you're watching this after the fact, My goal and my prayer is, Lord, that through my words that you have made a difference within these people's lives to where they realize that the fact that they're breathing, the fact that they have air within their lungs, that they are given a golden opportunity, a golden ticket, so to speak, like Willy Wonka gives out, to change their lives for the better. And they're given time to mend fences, like they're given time to fix things, like they're given time to do things that will greatly benefit the ones they love the most. So I pray that every single person, that if you don't got the strength to do it, that you call on God to give you the strength. If you're discouraged, I pray God makes you realize that that you don't need to be discouraged. That that's just a distraction from the devil to try to convince you that you don't need to do what you're destined to do. So, Lord, thank you for the time we were given. And Lord, thank you for Jake. You were a wonderful brother in law. And Jake, for the love of God, don't talk Jesus' head off, because Lord knows you did that to us down here. And Dad, I love you. Thank you for everything you've done for me. I couldn't have asked for a better dad. Despite your issues, you always put us first. And happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
I couldn't ask for a better father. So, guys, it's uh, heaven's kind of getting crowded, but you know what? Mom, Dad, Jake, I love you all. Thank you so much, Jesus, for giving me the words to speak tonight. And I pray that it makes a difference in somebody's lives. We give this up to your son. Thank you. God bless you. Amen. All right, guys. And really, really quick. Uh, there's another thing that God's kind of putting right in my heart, which I normally don't do two prayers, but I want to do one more real quick, because I feel like there's somebody that's going to be watching this that's going to be kind of on the fence with this whole God thing. And because of things that have happened within their lives, they're blaming God for what people do. And that's one of the biggest things that they're non believers because of it. It's because of what humans do, when in fact, God has nothing to do with what humans do, for the fact that we have free will. So the fact that we screw up, we blame God for that. And we got a bad habit of that.
That's true.
The Catholic Church. Anyways, okay, I'm sorry, Catholic Church. I love you. I'm just not a fan of all the priests that molest children. But anyways, not saying that all Catholics are like that. And the cults like the Mormons and the other ones. Anyways, that's neither here nor there. You're entitled to believe what you want, and which I'm cool with that. But anyways, um, Lord, I, yes, I know I'm calling on you again, Lord, but I pray that to all the non-believers that are watching this, that you speak to their heart, that you discern the fact from fiction, and that you make them realize that the best decision that they could ever make is give their hearts to you. Because there's things within their lives that they can't handle, and they purposely can't handle them because they're meant to call on you, Lord. I pray that whatever holes they have within their heart, whatever voids they need to be filled, which we know that can't be filled with drugs, it can't be filled with porn, it can't be filled with prostitutes, it can't be filled with anything but you, because you purposely made it that way. Lord, please open up the hearts of the non believers, welcome them with open arms, and let them know that you have always been there for them. You have always loved them, and you were just waiting for them to call on you. Because I know for me, when I was 16 years old, a former atheist, a former non-believer. That's what you did for me, Lord. You accepted me for who I was, and you have never let go. Even when I didn't recognize you as my Lord, you never let go. Even when I was angry because of my mom being sick, even though I was angry because of like my dad working constantly and drinking, you always were there for me, even when I did not acknowledge it. So, and Lord, you healed me from that. You made me realize that you are always there to comfort me and guide me. I pray, God, that you can do that for somebody tonight, many people tonight, anybody watching this. I pray that if you don't believe in God, that you give God a chance, that you call on him, and that you make him the Lord of your life. You make him the center of your life, because if you make God the foundation, that solid rock,
It'll never crumble.
it will never crumble, and the rest of your world will be built on a solid foundation that could be manageable. And guess what? The beautiful part about it is that God, he's just one call away. So, to all the non believers, once again, I pray that you call on God and that He really opens up your heart, He softens your heart, and that you finally give your lives to Him. I pray this in your Son's name, who sacrificed on the cross for us, so we can have that gift called eternal life, so we will never be separated from our loved ones that have given their lives to you forever. You have made that path to where once our loved ones are gone, we can always go back to them. Thank you for that, Lord. And thank you for this time tonight. I pray this in your Son's name. Amen. All right, guys. I'm sorry. I'm kind of holding you up, but you know what? I just had to say it. And like with the Catholic jokes, the Mormon jokes, whatever, don't take it personal. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. It's called get a fucking sense of humor. Anyways, yes, I'm the cursing preacher. I don't care. Anyway, yeah, which by the way, before I go, I'm sorry, which I'm going on and on and on here. There is people that have literally messaged me saying that I'm not a Christian because I cuss.
I cuss a lot. They don't want to hear it.
Straight up,
I go
no
back to it.
offense.
Yeah. Who said? Whoever said that was a sin.
The people that some of the holiest people that I've ever met behind closed doors.
Have the dirtiest mouth.
Oh, good Lord. They got some of the dirtiest mouths. They curse like sailors. One of my favorite pastors, he cusses like a sailor, which I'm not going to say who it is because that ain't for me to say, but there's quite a few pastors which I know that they curse like sailors. So my advice to like the people that want to judge me because I curse and because my pastor, get the fuck over it. I'm sorry. I don't sound like a dick, but get the fuck over it. I mean, like, there's more important things to worry about than what's coming out of my mouth. Okay? Just saying, guys. Focus on your lives. Focus on God. Focus on the opportunities that you're given right now.
I know if that's what you like gotta point out, then you
Oh,
have
yeah.
a damn life.
Oh, yeah.
I hate to see how your life is.
Thank you. Exactly. So don't cast the first stone because we all live in sin. We all live
We all live in a glass house.
we all live in a glass house. So guys, thank you so much for the time. Thank you so much for listening. And I pray that once again, you guys all have a safe, blessed, joyous, and wonderful week. This is a very rare week for me because I've put out 2 episodes, and you know what? I'm I'm revving to go again to where I'm gonna potentially put out 1 show a week going forward because you know what? My buddy Mike Durban here, who just was on the stream like a few minutes ago, he's really inspired me to step up and to really put out like my content more. So you know what? By God, that that fire, it's been lit. It's been lit under me, and by God, I'm going to go forward with it. This tea kettle is going to be screaming, baby. So yeah, No, no, Priscilla. I'll tell you in a minute. Anyways, so ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your love. Thank you so much for your support. I am getting ready to go lay down with my wife. I definitely hope and pray that you guys have a wonderful 4th of July weekend. Um, Dad, happy birthday. Rest in peace, Jake. And I hope that you guys have a wonderful weekend with your family. I really, really do. Celebrate, cherish, and enjoy. God bless you guys. Peace. And by the way, I can't go without hawking some shit. So please make sure to check out the Wrestling with Reality brand. We are available on all major podcasting platforms. So please research Wrestling with Reality podcast, which is available on all major podcasting platforms. Plus, there is a Wrestling with Reality. I think it's WWR podcast on YouTube. We got WWR podcast for life on Facebook. And we have WWR podcast on Patreon. So it's patreon.com/WWR podcast for life. And last but not least, please check out wrestlingwithreality.sellmytees.com, where you can get all the latest Wrestling with Reality swag, because Baptized Fire, this is an offshoot show of the Wrestling with Reality brand. So if you would, by supporting them, you're supporting me. So guys, thank you so much. God bless you. And once again, be classy, San Diego. Peace.